It's late.
Okay, yay. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much once again for joining us in our third mission of the Universal 7-Day Candle Project's lighting ceremony to help stop domestic violence on every level. If you've been following our Facebook page, which you can find by typing into Facebook Universal 7-Day Candle Projects into their little search engine, you will see the work that we have been trying to do, gathering our strength and energy as pagans and witches, light workers, however you want to term yourself, to take care of issues going on in the world, which is one of the things I feel that we are here for, to contribute our healing energies out there to help stop these horrors that are going on in the world. And this particular project, of course, is focused on domestic violence. But as always, before we begin, we love to cast a circle of protection around us. All hail, my lords and ladies of the East, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of air, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee, my lords and ladies. I charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is.
All hail our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my brother and patron, the sacred element of fire. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your directions, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
All hail, my lords and ladies of the West, my brothers and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of water. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee, my lords and ladies. I charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is.
So it is. All hail our lords and ladies of the North, my brothers and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of earth. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your directions, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
And merry meet everyone tonight. I'm honored to be here again tonight.
And we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is. So once again, we thank you so much for taking a stand and believing in taking action to make a difference in the world. I completely forgot to even introduce us ourselves. I apologize for that. Of course, I'm Goddess Rhonda, and we have with us our beautiful Goddess Star as well.
Hi, everyone, and merry meet again. And that beautiful smile that Goddess Rhonda has as usual.
Thank you. So we believe that no matter what anyone's belief, by combining our strength, energy, and intentions, it can really help to lessen and therefore balance out the negative energy so that peace can be restored, which is what we're trying to do. And to thank you for your help and courage in taking a stand, we will offer blessings to those who want it at the end of the ceremony. But first, let's get our candles going. So as you know, this is our third mission, and we are fighting back against the horrors of domestic violence in all of its aspects. This is an extremely powerful day and time to do the ceremony. This is the day of Saturn, of protection, purification, and restriction of those things that are adverse to us. And we are beginning in the hour of Mars, the planet of war and protection, and flowing into the hour of the sun for justice, strength, healing, and illumination to provide these benefits to the victims of domestic violence. Over the next 8 weeks, we will layer each ceremony with intentions to stop domestic violence on all levels. And we begin this week by countering the first section on the Wheel of Violence, which is intimidation. And you can visit our Facebook page, the Universal 7-Day Candle Projects page, to see the Wheel of Violence, or you can always just Google it as well, so that you can see we're going to take it section by section. So intimidation is insidious. It is an invisible weapon that is as dangerous as a cobra. Think about walking along the street, minding your own business, and a cobra slithers out in front of you and raises its hooded head and stares at you. It's enough to make you stop in your tracks and shake in fear, even if the snake never moves forward to bite you. Just its mere presence is enough into paralyzing you with just fear alone, as your mind frantically tries to decide how to get around the cobra without getting hurt. This is very similar to what domestic violence victims go through on a daily basis with threats that may be the same, it may as well be bullets when you consider all the damages that they cause. If
Right.
looks and threats aren't enough to control the victim, the cowardly abusers, and I call them cowards because that's exactly what they are, and yes, I am calling you a coward to your face as I can, they will take the intimidation further and destroy the victim's things or harm their pets, as though saying, the same way I just smashed your favorite china, I will do the same to you if you do not obey me. Abusers never have to touch you to control you. Many times the intimidation they present is enough to brainwash and control their victims. So we counter intimidation with the knowledge that you have rights to a peaceful home, safety, and happiness, and we send you the power, courage, and strength to change your situation and make you the victor instead of the victim and bring you to safety.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, it's so funny that they use what they believe is so much intimidation for a person that it's a great analogy that you mentioned about the cobra snake, because that is how a lot of people would react, petrified. So, and some of the things that by making her afraid, by using looks, actions, and gestures, like you mentioned, they destroy property and abusing pets. Sometimes there are phrases that they would use, like whenever you're on the phone, he may look at you as if he's going to hit you, as if why don't you hang up?
Right,
Uh, one of the things that some of them have done is actually brandish weapons on their persons and making sure that you see it and it's big or whatever it is, whether it's a gun or a huge knife or something, just to not say I'm going to threaten it with you, but threaten you with it. But they make sure that they have it on in your presence
right,
so that you can see it there. So it's all like you said, it's not um, like maybe physical abuse, in whatever the cases are, but they are definitely doing it to scare you and petrify you in whatever way that they can, so that they can make you feel that absolute fear that you're not sure how to react, what to do next. And I
right.
was speaking to a friend of mine named Christine, and she went through a lot of that. Um, she said, of course, that a lot of it is extremely so personal and so different for each person. But when I mentioned the wheel of violence to her, or the wheel of power to her, she said yes, she went through all of those things. And um, she is that person that changed the laws with certain things. With the person that was abusing her, that law about a wife not being able um, to file charges against their husbands for rape in an abusive manner, and because rape is entirely an abusive thing, and she's the one that changed the laws for that in New York State. And I'm very honored to know her, that she fought back as best as she could, and she kept persisting on it. She said she pretty much lived at the police station just about every other day she was there. I'm glad that she's no longer in any of those situations. But she said it was very terrifying. She also mentioned to me a story that she wanted me to let everyone know about. She said while she was in court one of the days against her husband at that time, she said that there was a young lady that was sitting next to her with a broken arm, and they were talking after a while, and she explained that her husband had done that, and she said she's emphatically never going to um, have that person come back into her home. Um, and she said that as they kept talking, that was on, I believe she believes it was a Friday, so that there was a weekend left over, or coming up. And she said that as she spoke to her, the young lady was very emphatic and vehement about never allowing her husband back into their home. And she said on Monday um, afternoon, she saw the newspaper and recognized the young lady's face in the paper. Apparently, she did let him in that weekend. And I'm sorry, he threw her out of a 3-story building,
Oh my God.
as if she was garbage. She, of course, died. And it's this happens a lot to a lot of people almost on a daily basis around the world, around this country. And it's very sad to think that she trusted him one more time, and that time was the death of her, all because she went to court about it. So the spell that I am going to present is in her memory and for many like her. So please join Goddess Rhonda and myself as we take you down the power and control wheel of domestic violence to prevent it. Thank you.
I'm so sorry about that, Goddess Star. It happens all the time, and every time you would think that you hear so many stories that after a while you would be numb, but it still hurts and impacts us with each victim, each pain that they feel. That pain reverberates through, and we still feel it too. We are all victims. If one person is a victim, all of us
Yeah.
are victims. And thank you so much for sharing that story. That
Um,
was
I
very,
absolutely had to, because she told me that it haunts her to this day. And she said that since we're doing this show, she would love to have me mention it. And I did so in her honor.
absolutely. Hail Christine for that. And we also send
Thank
blessings
you.
to the
Absolutely.
lady who that
Yes.
happened to. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our opening prayer. Excuse me. Earth, I invoke and evoke, request and accept all of your wonderful, positive, powerful properties, gifts, blessings, and protection. And I ask you to empower us with all of your abilities of creation and manifestation as we create this ceremony to end domestic violence and manifest freedom and safety for the victims. I also send this energy to be conveyed to the participants who want it, as well as their candle and other tools they may be using. So mote it be.
So mote it be. I created an incense for peace and protection for all of domestic violence to end it. Give me a moment. I will get this bag open, and I thought I had it all opened, but I did not. So sorry.
No problem.
Air, I invoke and evoke, request and accept all of your wonderful positive properties, gifts, blessings, and protections. And I ask that you empower us with your ability to smoothly flow over, under, around, or through any obstacles, and carry your energies of freedom and movement to the victims of whom we are fighting back against domestic violence, and manifest freedom and safety for the victims. I also send this energy to be conveyed to the participants who want it, as well as their candle and other tools they may be using. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Fire, I invoke and evoke, request and accept all of your wonderful, positive, powerful properties, gifts, blessings, and protections. And I ask that you empower us with strength and protection, as well as your ability to burn away any and all blockages to the freedom of the victims we are fighting for, those of domestic violence, and manifest freedom and safety for them. And I also send this energy to be conveyed to the participants who want it, as well as their candle and the tools they may be using. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Water, I invoke and evoke, request and accept all of your wonderful positive properties, gifts, blessings, and protections, and I ask that you empower us with your ability to cleanse and wash away as we are fighting back against domestic violence, to cleanse and heal the victims and manifest their freedom and safety. I also send this energy to be conveyed to the participants who want it, as well as their candles and other tools they may be using. So mote it be.
So mote it be. So now we're going to go into our spells. And for the sake of expedience, I've already prepared my candle, but I'm going to explain how to do it, what I did, so that you'll be able to recreate it. And I'm going to show you some things, so don't worry. I will make sure that you leave here with a full understanding of what to do. So my spell to help with intimidation is a petition to Mars, the god of war, to counter intimidation with courage and to stimulate the root chakra at the base of our spine, whose color is red. And this is the center of life force energy, survival, safety, and security. And that's, the chakras are the energy vortexes that go throughout the body. And the root chakra would represent this one because it represents your sense of survival and your life force energy. We will also be calling upon Saturn to restrict the abusers from intimidating their victims. And we're also going to be using the energies of the sun, and through their collective combined elements, we will also be calling on the power of fire and earth. So what you're going to need for these for this spell is you're going to need a red candle, red glitter, dragon's blood oil, and this represents for Mars. And then for Saturn, we've got some brown glitter and some patchouli oil. You'll need a carving instrument, and those of you who've watched me long enough to know that I like bamboo skewers. Why? Because bamboo represents the fulfillment of wishes, and also they're very, very cost effective. These will last you a very long time because wax is soft, so it doesn't really compromise the point. And you can get 100 of them for like 99 cents at Walmart or Home Depot, so by all means, check those out. You'll also need a pen, some orange paper for your decree, your declaration, and we're going to put our declaration on it, and we're going to include symbols for Mars, Saturn, and the Sun. So what I did was I combined all of my empowered and dedicated oils and glitter into one small vessel. And what I used for my vessel, because I believe in recycling and repurposing things, is I used an orange cap from a Gatorade bottle. Gatorade brings hydration, which is water, so it brings the element of water to the ceremony, but also the top is orange, and it represents the sun. So what we do is we empower. You can use your atome. If you have an atome, you can use an atome, or you can use your wand, or you can just use your hands if you like, and just say, I empower this top to be as the sun and bring power, courage, justice, and illumination to the spell and the victims of domestic violence, so it is. So now you've empowered your little vessel that you have. And of course, you can use whatever vessel you want. I just chose to use this one. Next, your paintbrush. And because you're going to paint the oils onto your candle, the oils and the glitter onto your candles, we also want to turn that into a wand. I charge thee to become a wand for me. and convey my intention-filled energy into this candle to stop domestic violence, including but not limited to blocking the perpetrators from intimidating their victims on any level, so it is. So now you've got your paintbrush ready. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take a few drops of your dragon's blood oil, place a few drops in. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it, as you can probably see from the glittery inside of this top. Hopefully you can see that.
Yes, yeah.
But just so that I'm just doing it mock so that you understand what I did. So you're going to take a few drops of dragon's blood and put it into your container. And you would take your paintbrush and stir it and say, I empower thee to be as Mars, who you represent, and provide courage and effective defense to the spell and the victims of domestic violence. So it is. And we're working with Mars first. So then you would put in, I'm not going to actually squeeze them in, but a few spritzes of red glitter. And you're going to say the same thing, but using the glitter as you stir it into the oil. I empower thee to be as Mars, who you represent, and provide courage and effective defense to the spell and the victims of domestic violence. So it is. Then you're going to place just a few drops, because remember, you're just making enough for your candle, so you don't have to use tons and tons of it. A few drops of your patchouli oil, and then you would stir it with your paintbrush and say, I empower thee to be a Saturn, who you represent, and to fully restrict the perpetrators of domestic violence from intimidating their victim in any way, shape, or form. So it is. And then you would just add your brown glitter, which I'm just pretending to add. And just you only need a little bit, and you stir it again. And so I empower thee to be a Saturn, who you represent, and to fully restrict the perpetrators of domestic violence from intimidating their victims in any way, shape, or form. So it is. So now you've got your container, which has your oils and your glitter in it. So you're going to go ahead and put that to the side for now. So the next thing you want to do is turn your carving tool now into a wand. I charge thee to become a wand for me, and convey my intention-filled energy into this candle to stop domestic violence, including but not limited to blocking the perpetrators from intimidating their victims on any level. So it is. And then you're going to take your candle, which I've already done, and you want to write small with this. A good thing about using a skewer is that it's got this little tiny point, so you can get a lot of writing on a candle when you have that. So you're going to inscribe on the top of your candle, courage, strength, power, and safety to domestic violence victims. Intimidation is halted and peace is restored. And then you're going to use your paintbrush to paint your oils and your glitter into the top of your candle so that you have a nice, pretty glittery, it's hard to see it, but a nice, pretty glittery
Yeah, you can see it.
thing at the top. Thank you. So now, next, we need to make our decree, our declaration of what we want done. As witches, you can make decrees and declarations. And so that's what we're going to do today. So we're first going to turn our pen into a wand. And I know this might seem redundant, but I believe in turning all of my tools. We have to empower them. If it's a pen or whatever it is, it needs to be empowered. That's my opinion. You can always do it your way. So again, I charge thee to become a wand for me and convey my intention-filled energy into this candle to stop domestic violence, including but not limited to blocking the perpetrators from intimidating their victims on any level. So it is. So now take your pen, put it right in the center first of your paper, because now your pen is a wand. I empower this paper to be as the sun and bring power, courage, justice, and illumination to the spell and the victims of domestic violence. So it is. So now you've empowered your paper before you even wrote on it. And we're using the orange again to represent the sun. So what I've inscribed on my paper here, which I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but I'll read it for you. All perpetrators of domestic violence are hereby restricted now and forever from intimidating their victims. I make and enforce this decree with the divine masculine energies of the Sun, Mars, and Saturn. So it is. So you're making a decree. You're saying this is the way it's going to be, and that's it. And you're not taking any no's or anything from the answer, as opposed, sometimes we ask for things, sometimes we just say this is what it's going to be, and that's the way it is. So this is a decree that we're making. So now you've got your candle, and then you're going to put the symbols, can't quite see, there we go, of the sun.
Yes.
Here we go, of the sun and Mars and Saturn right at the bottom there. Okay, so now we're going to do our incantations. And I like to offer rice, which is a universal offering, to say thank you. Just move that over there for a second. As always, giving love, honor, joy, and respect to our Divine Mother Goddess, our Divine Father God, we ask you to please grant us guidance, power, and safety during this ceremony, and thank you. I call upon thee, my divine brother and patron Mars, the sacred element of fire, for your protection, strength, and courage, and ask that you please contribute your wonderful, positive, powerful properties, gifts, blessings, and protections to the victims of domestic violence. Unleash within them the courage to face their abuser and not be intimidated by their cowardly behavior. Send your red life force energy safely into their root chakra, their center of safety and security, and stimulate it so that it provides its protection for them. I thank you, my dear brother. So it is. And make this offering to you with my gratitude and blessings. I call upon thee, my divine brother and patron Saturn, the sacred element of earth, for your powers of restriction. Please send your energy to restrict all perpetrators of domestic violence from intimidating their victims in any way. Let the perpetrators be intimidated by your awesome power as you crush their ability to harm others. Thank you, my dear brother. So it is. And I make to you this offering with my gratitude and blessings. I call upon thee, my divine brother and patron the Sun, and the sacred element of fire, you who represent our divine Father God, the divine masculine. I call upon you and ask you that you be a protective father of the victims of domestic violence and protect them from their abusers. Please surround them with your empowering and protective light to grant them peace, safety, and security in your strong and powerful arms. Thank you, my dear brother. So it is. And I make to you this offering with my gratitude and blessings. I also call upon the power, nurture, and strength of the divine feminine, of the sacred element of earth, and ask that you ground out the power of the perpetrators of domestic violence the way you can ground out the strongest currents of electricity. Let them no longer have the power to intimidate their victims. And I make to you this offering with my gratitude and blessings. And I call upon the power, strength, and protection of the divine masculine strength of the sacred element of fire, and ask that you burn away the powers of the perpetrators of domestic violence. Let them no longer have the power to intimidate their victims. And I make to you this offering with my gratitude and blessings. And I now release this energy to go out and fulfill my plea, restoring to the victims of domestic violence courage, strength, peace, and safety. As I will, so mote it be. As I will, so it is. So that's that spell. And when you would offer to the release, you would, of course, have already lit your candle. But this is just, you'll see the spell, by the way, if you will join our Priestess View group. When you go on Facebook, just put in the Priestess View group. And we are going to be posting all of our spells in that group, but we will also put it on our 7-Day Candle Project page. But please join our group so you can have access to our spells. Okay, so that's my portion of what I did to create mine. Now we're going to go ahead and let Goddess Star tell us all about her ceremony and what she's done to help stop the intimidation factor of domestic violence.
Okay, thank you. That was a beautiful spell. Thank you so much. Yeah. With my part of the spell, I used actually 2 candles, and this particular candle that you first see I've already, for the sake of time, I've already done the candles, but I will go into all the details like as Goddess Rhonda did before. This was a suggestion by Christine because she said that this multicolored candle she thought was very helpful to her, and she suggested it possibly might help others because she said it will be, this is like the central candle. And it is for, because it's of all the colors, I will go down a list of all the colors and what they mean. And again, all of the information I'm giving will be provided on a group page and on the Universal Candle page as well. I wanted to kind of go down what the colors would mean for you. And because it is, everybody has such a personal thing and a personal experience with domestic violence, you alone will know what you will need to take from each color of this parts of the candle. So I don't know if you can see it. It has red on the top. That is for protection, strength, courage, and passion. And then we have white that's next. And that is for protection, purification, truth, and peace and uncrossing. Then we have blue for tranquility, patience, happiness, change, and healing. And then we have pink for love, morality, and friendship. And then we have green beneath that. And for that one, it's for your finances, so they cannot intimidate you with that. Fertility, luck, money, employment, and healing. And then for yellow, attraction, intellect, confidence, divination, and happiness. And then for purple, which is at the very bottom, for healing, power, severe diseases of any kind or anything that the body of the pain or anything like that that you've received during your domestic violence, your spirituality, and for you to have calmness and peace, whether you do it rather via meditation or otherwise. So that's this candle. And what I did was I carved on it this sigil. I don't know if you can see it. And this sigil represents the goddess Yamaya. You can choose whatever deity you choose for that. That will empower you in this particular case. I will go down the list of why and what I'm using her and why I'm asking or petitioning her. Mm-hmm. She is, of course, I mean, from what I have learned of her, she despises domestic violence or anyone who harms women and children in a way like that. She will come to your great defense with this. She will do her best, her level best, to make sure that all the things flow properly through your life that is needed when and where you need it. And also what I did was on the top of the candle where I carved her sigil, that is the sigil of Yamaya that I had carved. I also glittered it with gold, silver, representing the gods and goddesses. Also, a lot of it represents for Yamaya's benefit. She loves jewelry and glittery things and treasures. So I was offering her the gold, the silver, the blue for peace and healing, and for the representation of the ocean, for the sea queen that she is, and green, red for love, and all the things that we need when we are working on domestic violence to prevent that intimidation. I will show you in a moment how to make these sigils. And then I also did a black candle, which is for absorbing and destroying negative energies of all kinds, banishing and healing anything, and it's very, very protective. I usually use black with divine protection, but this time what I carved on it was a sigil that I made specifically for domestic violence, and I will show you. This is it right here. I hope you can see it.
Yes, you can.
You see it? Great. And I will show you how I came up with this in a moment. So I put that on there as well as the Yamaya sigil as well, because that's the goddess I chose to work with for in general, because she is the queen, the sea queen, and she does take care of that a lot. So those are the two candles that I did. And I also, to do the candle, what I did was I used an Athame it's really a bowline that's made specifically that I use specifically for carving my candles. And I've been using that for about 20 years or more. So it
Wow.
has a lot of energies built up in it, and it's in my kit that I keep for all my spell carving, and it's just been there. It's just, you literally feel the energy vibrating from that bowline that I use all the time. So that's the one that I use for every candle that I carve. Um, so let me to kind of when I was doing the spell, I kind of envisioned two things. Let peace and protection reign herein, and ending domestic violence in your homes now, wherever it is needed. So some of the things that I decided would be great for this particular spell would be, first and foremost, and you could put whatever size you want, whether it's a full page like this, or a small page like this, piece of paper like this, for you to write your intentions. What do you want from this particular spell for you? What you know best, what it is you can get out of this particular spell for yourself. You know best when the intimidation happens, what is needed for you in that. What kind of courage, what kind of strength does it take you? So you write down what you want to see come from this spell in great detail, and already envisioning the end result of it being that you are no longer intimidated by this individual, because spells begin the moment you start thinking of doing it. All right. So then I want you to gather your bowline or your carving for your whatever tool that you use for your candle carving. And like I said, mine is almost over 20 years old of me doing that. A blank sheet of paper for you to write that your intention, or what is it you want from this particular spell for yourself. And also the next two things are a marker. Usually when you're doing sigils, you need something with ink of some kind, and you empower it. And whatever it is, that's the only thing you'd use it for, is for drawing your sigils. And use it like how I use my bowline Athame, only for carving of my candles, nothing more. And it stays in my kit. These markers, the blue, you can either use blue, black, or red. You can buy them at anywhere that, at Sharpie markers, and use them strictly for making sigils. And I will show you how to do that shortly. You would need a bowl. I always use this bowl for my candle work. Whatever size works for you is great. My altar can only hold so much room, so I use this small bowl. Molasses as an offering to the goddess Yamaya. Again, whatever deity you're working with or petitioning, read up on that deity. Know that deity well enough to know what to offer them for their particular offering with your candle carving. So for me, this was molasses or cane syrup. Also have some sea salt as part of her offering, because she's of the sea. Red or white wine, your choice. Fresh or dry mint, that is for peace and protection. Fresh or dry basil is also great for peace and protection. Fresh or dry rue, that's also used for peace and protection. And if you choose, and if it feels great for you, according to Christine and a few others I went to for information that has gone through this experience, they felt that the black candle was the all for them, because it seemed to have covered so many areas and aspects of what they were going through. So that's the reason why I chose the black candle to work with there. For this particular deity, I needed 7 white flowers, whether it's roses or whatever, 7 white heads of the flowers as an offering as well. So that was needed, and lavender flowers. Okay. Again, some of the deities that I would suggest to you, if you don't know which one you want to choose, or if you don't want to work with Yamaya, there's a suggestion of Ares, Hecate, Athena, Artemis. Some suggested Hera. It's up to you what you want to use, or who you would like, not use, but who would you like to petition to for help. As you know, This is it's such a very personal thing. If you're going through this, no one knows best other than you and those that are also going through this with you, like maybe your children. So the sigil or the seal you would use to carve on your candle, or also to create a talisman for you to carry around, or to even place on your child or your person, on your physical person, I would suggest would be either pinned on you or in a small leather bag or cotton bag. I think they call it the Wonga bag or the Mojo bag. That's all that will be in there. If you want, you can add other things that's personal to you that means protection as well. Um, but anyways, regarding the sigil, um, for you to carve or carry it, for you to create this sigil, what I did was, the first one I did that I carved on the black candle was to end domestic violence where it is needed now. And what I did was, you see the words I wrote, I actually wrote it out. And what the sigil that I ended up with on the top is what it became. Now to do, can you see that? Goddess Rhonda, can you see
Yes,
that properly?
yes.
Okay, great.
Beautiful.
What I did was, after I wrote out, however or whatever the line that you write, maybe just end domestic violence in my home. You can personally say that, or uh, in my life, or name your name, whatever it is you want. And then you will go through and take the line, and everything that you see that's doubled up, like E, there's a lot of E's in this sentence, cross it out. Okay, if you notice, I will show you another one that I did for peace and protection. On the top there, you see how I took the words peace and protection and I crossed off anything that was doubled or tripled up. Do you see that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. It's the same thing you will do, and whatever letters are left that are not doubled of anything is what you would take and create a sigil. So it's a very personal sigil that means nothing to anyone else but you. Okay, the same thing I did for the peace and protection sigil that I just showed you. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so beneath the words, that sigil there that's created, that is the peace and protection
You
sigil.
might want to lift it up just a little bit. There you go. Just
Can
go
you see
up
it?
a little bit more, a little
Okay.
bit higher, so that they can see it looks like an R. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, you guys see it?
Yeah, now
Okay.
they can.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to lift it up even higher because what I did was I created one for Yamaya. So if you
Right.
want, you see that? If
Yes.
you want, you can do the same for any god or goddess that you are petitioning and create that sigil. Again, personal to you and personal to any the work that you are working with, and that's the seal or talisman that you will take it to. I will explain to you about the seal part. The seal is what you carve on the candle. The talisman is when you take it and you make it with something like this. I just took a piece of square paper. I did the same sigil here. And once you empower it, and you can do another thing to it. This is to this was to end domestic violence wherever needed. Now, this particular sigil, if you are someone who wants to create your own sigil for, say, end domestic violence in my life, and you put your name, what you can do is end domestic violence, whatever the sigil turn out to be on the front here, you
Right.
can then take and do the same thing with your name and put your name in the back there. Your whatever it ends up being, create a sigil for yourself. If your children are also at risk, you can do the same thing on the back of it, draw a circle around it, and put your children's name and yourself in here. That is only for you. It's special only to you. So it's a very personal sigil for you and your family. And you will take it, hold it in the palm of your hands like this. My hands are not that big, but it should be right in the middle there. And you blow on it. You take that energy, take it from your root chakra and come up and blow on it again. You have now empowered it. You can say words of Goddess Yamaya. Give us your strength, your courage, your health, and whatever else you can allow and give us to help fight the domestic violence in our lives. Whatever you wish to say, you can say it fervently with this sigil, and now it's become a talisman because now you can take it, fold it, and place it in your bra if you're a female, or depending on if it's a male, you never know, situations happen to males as well. And you take it and you carry it on you. And once you carry that on you, it becomes a talisman. You can do the same thing for your kids. It becomes a talisman. You either pin it within their clothing or whatever it is, no one knows that it's there except them. Okay? That's your own personal talisman that it becomes. So I hope you guys got that. I don't know, I drew these. So, oh, I can take pictures of it and put it up. I'll try my best to get it all up on there for you guys.
That's a great idea. If you could take pictures, that would be great.
Yeah, I forgot I could do that now with the phones. So I will do that, and I will take pictures of it and put it up for you guys. So that's your personal sigils that you create and that you carve first on your candles, and then you take it around with you. You know what it's doing for you. You know what it's meant to you, and no one else, even if they look at it till doomsday, they're never going to be able to tell what that's for. All right? So, again, it's a very private thing, and it's yours. I want you to, again, I've mentioned the deity part. If you're petitioning Goddess Yamaya, I have used all her many aspects of her names because she is a very multifaceted goddess. So that means that she has many aspects, and whatever aspect, do the research, whatever aspects draws you closer, you're quite welcome to use. And again, you would create a sigil and a talisman with her name and carry it with you. So she is known as Yamaya, Yamala, Yamoya, Yamalia, Yamaha, and Imanya. So now, I mean, a lot of this, I will put everything up for you. So again, if my enunciation of it is not as it should be, I stand corrected. I am no perfect person with this, and this is how I see the words. So, but this is for you to be able to aspect her in all her many facets. She is a very formidable goddess when called on for protection from domestic violence, as she absolutely despises this behavior on every level. So it is. Now, for an altar, or on your altar, you can request her petition, a petition to her by adding things like this. What I did was I have seashells. I collected a lot of these in the Bahamas while I was there. So any seashells or any things that you have that you've personally collected, I think is usually best. But if you don't have that choice, you can easily go and purchase them. There are different things that you can have. A lot of people use little shells that they have that they've found from her. I also have sand, again, that I had picked up in the Bahamas. I brought all that back with me. So you can use any of these things with her. I also have this was not from the Bahamas, but it is from the ocean. My friend brought this from Puerto Rico, a bottle filled with seawater for me. So you can add this on her. Some of it you can use on her figure statue that you have, maybe, or anything at all that you want to work with. And part of the spell that I'm going to do with you, because we're going to do it, I also will give you an oil. The oil that I used was a combination of Peace and Protection and Yamaya. I will give you guys the recipes on our different group pages. And I also made an incense oil for Yamaya. And the incense an incense and oil, I mean. The incense I used was this that I made for Yamaya. So part of the offering and what you would do with the Peace and Protection sigil or the Yamaya sigil, you would put it first in the bowl like I just did. I don't know if you can see that. I put it in first.
You can see.
Okay. And in the interest of the fact that I know I'm going to take that and draw that afterwards for you guys and take a picture, I am going to put this here. And because I'm going to be wetting it, so it's going to be no longer as nice, but this nice parchment paper here. And I put the candle inside of the bowl. See? Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I put that in there. And then I want you to have your incense going. And you can use either Yamaya or Peace and Protection or a combination of both of the incenses. And you're going to run your items through it. I did all of that earlier, so I'm not going to do that now, but I'm just letting you know what I did. And I ran, as I burned the incense, I passed the intentions that I wrote down for what I wanted to have done with this candle. You run the candle through it, and the parchment paper that I had with the sigil or the seal that you have, you also run that through it, and you put it in the bowl in the bottom of the bowl. Then you will do an offering to her of, let's see the order in which I did it. I want to make sure I got it right for you. I'm so sorry. Okay. First you will put some molasses, which I picked up at Trader Joe's. You would put some molasses around the bottom of the candle. And of course, I already tasted this, but always taste everything that you're offering to the goddess or to any of the deities, because just that old story of the poisoning that possibly happened. So always taste it first before you put it in, just to show that you're not trying to poison them. Okay, so I did the molasses. Then I'm going to add some lavender as an offering to her. She loves flowers, and especially lavender. I'm having bag opening trouble. 1 second. Yes. Okay. So I'm putting lavender next all around, same way I did the molasses. And you can use cane syrup as well if you don't have molasses. So there's the lavender. I poured the lavender around it in a circle, followed by mint. Where's my mint? Oh, here's my mint. You do the same thing with the mint, and you pour the mint around the edges of the inside of the bowl, around the candle. A bit of rue for protection. You pour around the candle as well. Okay. And the last, sorry, not the last, but the next ingredient is basil. You do the same thing with the basil, around in the circle. And then the wine, whether you use red or white, again, I'm going to sip it first, and then pour a little around the edges as well.
Are you pouring that in the bowl, Goddess Star? Because we can't see you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm pouring that into the bowl as well. Everything I'm saying, I'm putting inside of the bowl right now.
Okay.
And then the last but not least is sea salt, which we all know represents Yamaya. And you put the sea salt lastly in the water in here. Well, not it's. I just realized it's not entirely last. There are two more things that has to be added to this, and that is. Let's see. I've got the flowers, and I've got seawater. Like I said, from my friend brought back for me from Puerto Rico, and you pour that in to the bowl, and it fills up. And lastly, you're gonna put some either rose, white rose, or carnation, any of that. You can even put some bluing or blue food coloring to represent the ocean, and you put it around the edges of the bowl. My bowl is very small, so usually it will be floating on the top of the water there around the bowl, 7 of them. One more that needs to be fitting in. There you go. Can you guys see that?
That is beautiful.
Okay?
And I can
So
feel the energy through my computer. I really
there you
can.
go. Look at that. Thank you. So now it's like sitting there very pretty, and you've got the roses right, I mean the carnations right on top, and just a little bit of things that you can leave that there, and as it dries out, you can then take it and offer it to the into if you can go to a body of water or something like that, a river or the ocean or anything, and offer it to her and thank her for already giving you what you need, for everything that she has given you, for everything she will possibly give you, and just for being there when you needed her. Also, remind her that you are a human being and that you need to be on land, because when she offers her help, she tends to love the persons or that are been petitioning to her, and she tends to want to keep things that she loves near to her. So just remind her that you're human and that you need to stay on land and not be in the water. That's if you're near the body of water, okay? So you don't go further with her. And when you light the candle, I have an incantation. Do we light it first, goddess, or do you want me to say it now?
Um, let's go ahead and light it so that the incantation takes place properly.
Okay, there we go. I will light again because my incense is gone out. I'm going to put some more on because it's great to have that incense going as we do the petitioning and incantation with her. Okay. All right. So let me light my candle. Where's my matches? And I'm going to light my central candle also. Okay.
Okay.
I do light this candle of protection to state that me and mine are no longer sick with fear. We no longer live with fear. Fear shall no longer dwell in our home. We will live without fear. Praise be to you, Goddess Yamaya, you who protect us all, for you despise abuse on all levels. With your help, Goddess, we no longer need to shed tears. Peace and protection will dwell within our hearts and within our homes from this point on. We take back the power we have given you, the person that's been abusing us. We take back the power from the person that from the power. We take back the power we have given the person that has abused us. I apologize for that.
That's
So
okay.
mote it be.
So mote it be. I have to say that was just beautiful. That was a beautiful spell. It looked beautiful, and I literally, when you held it up, could feel the power coming at me through the computer. That was
Thank
just
you.
absolutely,
And so was yours. Very beautiful too.
thank you. All right, well, now we're going to go ahead and do our regular candle blessing. I wanted Goddess Star to go ahead and light that because it was just so beautiful. I just wanted the incantation to go along with her candle that she created, her beautiful candle of protection. That was just awesomeness. All
Thank
right,
you.
but now we'll go ahead and do our regular one for those um, who need to do that. So, okay, here we go. I invoke and evoke, request and accept all of the wonderful, positive, powerful properties, gifts, blessings, and protection of our divine sacred patron, elements of earth, of air, of fire, of water, of wood, of metal, of stone. And I ask you to safely marry your energies with us and our candles, and ask that you cleanse, strengthen, and bless, and empower this ceremony, our candles and ourselves, that we may be an effective tool to rid the world of domestic violence and heal the damages it has caused to all of us. Because if one of us is harmed by it, then all of us is harmed by it. And we seek to eradicate it from us and our realm forever and replace it with love, peace, balance, safety, prosperity, strength, and the protection from anyone ever being a victim of domestic violence again. Thank you, and so it is.
Thank you. So it is. I am trying to hold both the candles. It's heavier than I realized. So I'm doing the best. I am honestly holding the second one, the multicolored one with my left hand, and I'm holding the black one with my right hand. So that's the best I can do. I bless and consecrate thee as a magical tool, to be used as a candle, as candles of enlightenment, to become the lance of sovereignty, the womb of the earth mother, to be the shield and protector of many, that thou shalt ever serve us, and all those who have joined us here today, in truth, power, and wisdom. So mote it be.
So mote it be. We counter intimidation with courage, emotional abuse with nurture, isolation with positive support and resources, minimizing, denying the abuse and blaming the victim with the courage to admit wrongdoing and seek help, using children to threaten and control the victim with safety, healing for both the children and the victimized parent.
We counter abusers, having an overinflated sense of authority by granting them the acceptance that everyone has rights, especially the right to a safe and peaceful home. Economic abuse with prosperity for the victim as well as heightening their confidence in their abilities to provide for their children and themselves. Coercion and threats with kind words, support, and a willingness to compromise and please the victims. So may it be.
So may it be. And I have to tell you, Goddess Star, when you get a chance, take a look at the archive of this show after it's recorded, because when you were holding your candle, I'm not kidding, the light from the candle had the shape of a sword. It was this long, elongated, like sword. You just have to see it for
Yeah.
yourself in order. I have chills going through me because it was just that powerful. I thought that was about the coolest thing ever. So I can't wait for you to see it. It was amazing. It was just like this. It was literally a sword of light that was coming from your candle.
Excellent. Thank
So
you
I
so much.
definitely achieved the intention that you put into that. That was just awesome.
Thank you.
You are so, thank you, because that was just awesome. I have a chill. I just love it. It was awesomeness. Okay, and yet again, we thank you again for your strength and convictions. And now we're going to go ahead and offer blessings to those who want it. So for those who wish to accept these blessings, I unhook and release you from all of the cords and adverse energies that keep you from the prosperity, good health, and power that is your birthright, and send it all into the light to be healed and resolved as we are all healed from them, and restore your divine peace, strength, good health, prosperity, free will, and the optimum flow of divine balanced energy on all levels. So it is.
So it is.
I make an offering to our divine Mother Goddess, our divine Sister Moon, to bless the participants of the ceremony with new and continued blessings of prosperity, peace, and good health. I make an offering to the divine universal life forces to look upon and bless the participants of the ceremony, who welcome your energy and blessings. And I make an offering to the gatekeepers of prosperity, good health, and power, and ask you to open the gates to those who choose to honor and accept the safe and continuous flow, for which I make the infinity symbol 3 times, of prosperity in real money, either physically or electronically, the power we need to complete all of our missions effectively, successfully, and safely. And we send the safe and continuous flow of healthy energy to heal all that ails them and restore them to good health. I assign an etheric ankh over the participants who want it to constantly heal them through the ethers on all levels. And I call upon the divine energy of our brother and patron Saturn and the sacred element of Earth to restrict the adverse energies affecting them and restore positive and fruitful lives that is their birthright. Please accept my divine gratitude and blessings in return. Thank you. So it is.
So it is. That was beautiful. Always absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Great
you.
offerings. And though Goddess Rhonda has said all that is needed for you to have many blessings this most auspicious night, but these blessings will work best for you if you all must focus your energies on you. Yes, you. It is not selfish. You have
That's
to take
right.
care of you as well.
Right.
If you think of it as selfish, it will not work for you. All of those beautiful blessings that she's offered you. You innately feel as if you do not deserve financial success. That has been many a downfall, and why many of your financial or prosperity spells do not work the way that they are intended. But I would also like to offer, because of who Yamaya in all her aspects are, and if you have other deities that you would love to have offer you the same, it's quite welcome to do so. But one of the things about her is that being multifaceted, and because she's the sea queen, the ocean mother, all of the treasures of the oceans, which have gathered all beneath her skirt and her dress, that beautiful dress that she has, are at your disposal. We offer it all to you if you will accept it, in great health and many blessings. May the gods and goddesses bless you and thank you all for your many energies. So mote it be.
So mote it be. So once again, we thank everyone for joining us. Please share this project with all of your friends. Again, no matter what your belief is, just adding your energy to this is going to go a long way to help us defeat domestic violence in all of its forms. And some people say, well, you can just keep doing all this. It's not going to work. Every little thing, every little accomplishment, every little achievement sends that energy out, sends the ripple out. So maybe you might not see us end domestic violence within the next 8 weeks. However, by sending that energy out constantly over the next 8 weeks, we are sending those ripples out so that those ripples will continue to flow and cause an effect as time goes on, because energy does not die. It just continues to flow. So
Right.
again, we thank all of you, and we're going to go ahead and close out our circle.
Water, I thank you for all that you have given us and for empowering us with strength and courage and helping to wash away domestic violence. And we bid you farewell until we meet again once more. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Fire, I thank you for all that you have given us and for empowering us with strength and courage in helping to burn away domestic violence. And we bid you farewell until we meet once more. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Air, I thank you for all that you have given us and for empowering us with your strength and courage and helping to blow away domestic violence. And we bid you farewell until we meet once more. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Earth, Earth, I thank you for all that you have given us and for empowering us with strength and courage in grounding out domestic violence. And we bid you farewell until we meet once more. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So we still have 8 weeks to go. We're going to be breaking down the Wheel of Violence section by section. Even if you watch this later, if you watch this as an archived recording, it is still never too late to join your energies in. We've set the ceremonies out. You can choose Goddess Star spell. You can use my spell. You can use your own spell. As long as you're doing something to help to send this energy out, I do truly believe that with concentrated effort of all of us who have been bestowed with all of this magical energy, that we really can make a difference by joining together and fight these horrors that affect all of us, no matter what our spirituality is.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree.
And please, once again, join our Priestess View Facebook group, because that's going to be the main place that we're going to put all of our spells from our various shows and pages that we do. So it'll just be one place, but it's also a safe haven for you to go, sit back, be amongst like-minded people, and please, by all means, give us feedback. Let us know what you want to talk about, what spells you want to learn about, because we're doing this for you, to empower you, and to help you to navigate this realm that we call our dear sister, Mother Goddess Earth. So we thank you once again, Merry Meet, Merry Part. And for those of you who watch our Priestess View, we will be taking Memorial Day off, but we will see you again on the following Monday. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week. Namaste.
Okay, namaste to everyone. Merry part, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone, and have a really safe and blessed holiday.
Yes, absolutely.